Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Rachak Wadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Salutations, much love and respect to you, Akim, out there pushing this word out in truth and sincerity. This lesson is going to be entitled, The Heavenly Father Hates the Roman Way. Okay, and as you know, based upon prophecy, we are in the revival of the Roman Empire right now. Spiritually, this is Rome 2.0. Okay, ran by Babylon the Great, which is America, which is over and controls NATO and the EU. Okay, that is the Roman Empire, the new modern day Roman Empire. The EU, which used to be called the EEC, right? The European Economic Community, right? They had a treaty in the 1950s, which was known as the Treaty of Rome. Okay, and it's not a coincidence that it was called the Treaty of Rome. That's all spiritual. All right, and I watched this movie, and it really just displayed the despicableness of that the Roman kingdom, and the deceitful, bloody, evil, savage-like, animalistic kingdom that it actually was, right? But Esau, they revere this kingdom, they revere the Romans, they revere the Greek Empire, and so on and so forth. But it was really a real despicable display of humanity. It was real evil, and it inspired me to do this lesson because we are living in Rome 2.0 right now, and it's even more evil than this was. Okay, and this is why the Lord is going to do away with this kingdom. This is why the Lord is coming with vengeance to completely wipe this kingdom out and set up a righteous kingdom called Layam Layal by Shemiah Shai. And what I want to do is I want to read this. This is Revelations 13 and verse 1. It says, "And I stood upon the sand of the sea and saw a beast rise up out of the sea, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and upon his horns 10 crowns, and upon his heads the name of blasphemy." Right now, this is dealing with NATO and the EU. "And the beast which I saw like unto a leopard, okay, and his feet were as the feet of a bear, and his mouth as the mouth of a lion, and the dragon gave him his power and his seat and great authority." Okay, so you deal with the feet. Saw a beast with Saul was like a leopard, right? He was like a leopard. That represents the Greeks, right? That represents the Greeks, right? That was the head. Okay, it represents the Greeks, right? The beginning, right? Also the beginning. And the feet were like the feet of a bear, which that represents the Russians. Okay, you've seen that famous picture of Vladimir Putin, which is photoshopped riding on a bear, because Russia is known as that bear. And his mouth as the mouth of a lion, and the dragon gave him his power, okay, and his seat and great authority. Okay, and I saw, and that just represents the Edomite kingdoms, all right, and I saw one of his heads as it were wounded to death, and one of the one head it's speaking about is Rome, okay. And his deadly wound was healed, and all the world wandered after the beast. Okay, so that deadly wound, meaning it went down for a time period. Okay, it went down when the Western Roman Empire fell, and then the Eastern Roman Empire, which was ran by Jake, came up, which was known as the beginning of like the Byzantine Empire. Okay, when Jake got up into power, right? So that was Jake. All right, that was ruling at that time. Okay, that was Jake that was ruling at that time. You see? And when you come down to looking at the members of the EU, the original members, right? You had 10 originally, okay? Of the first it was the EEC, started off with a certain amount, and then it turned into the EU. Okay, so the beginning, the OGs, in other words, the OGs nations represent those 10 horns. Okay, talking about Belgium 1, Denmark 2, France 3, Germany 4, Greece 5, Ireland 6, Italy 7, Luxembourg 8, Netherlands 9, and then Portugal and Spain, which is 1. These are 1. At one time there was no Portugal. It was just Spain. Okay, these are 1. All right, that would be the 10th. Okay. All right, and together they create the new Roman Empire. Okay, which the Roman Empire is a very wicked and evil was a very wicked and evil rulership. This is why when you go to you go to the history, they were doing nothing but killing each other, putting each other to death left and right. Okay, if you that was a very dangerous position to be a Caesar. Okay, because people were always plotting to kill you, to poison you, to do whatever, right? Because it's a very treacherous kingdom. Okay, very, very wicked. Okay, and it held all the characteristics that the Heavenly Father hates. Let's go to Proverbs. Sixth chapter. This is Proverbs 6 and verse 16. And it reads, "These 6 things doth the Lord hate, doth Yahweh hate. Yea, 7 are an abomination unto him. A proud look, a lying tongue, and hands that shed innocent blood." All of that was heavy in the Roman Empire because the Edomites were ruling. These are all characteristics of the Edomites. Even when you go to certain small hat information, they'll tell you that the Romans were Edomites, right? They'll tell you, their scholars will tell you that the Romans were Edomites. Okay, certain rabbis they believe that, right? Which they're correct on that. But what they don't tell you is that they themselves are also Edomites. Okay, it said, "In heart that deviseth wicked imaginations." They were constantly plotting and scheming and coveting positions, and it shows you that in that movie, those that are ready to die, those about to die rather. It shows you that they were constantly plot to destroy one another. That's why in the opening scenes, in the intro, there's blood that runs through the city. Okay, it says, "An heart that deviseth wicked imaginations, feet that be swift in running to mischief." Right? Well, them Colosseums was mischief, man. That was a lot of wickedness going on there, man. Right? It was wicked people that were being paraded, fighting lions, and they'll have slaves fighting lions. And our people, a lot of our people, were doing that, and just just complete torture and things of that nature. Right? People would be watching, cheering it on. So that's all mischief, right? "A false witness that speaketh lies, and he that soweth discord among brethren." There's a lot of discord that was being sown. A lot of discord. Okay. But this is why And these are all the characteristics of these Edomites, by the way. But this is why the Heavenly Father, this is why Yahweh Shai, rather, he said, "Year of your father, the devil." Okay, he said that to you Israelites. Matter of fact, I'm going to get that in a second. But let me read this. This is Proverbs 6:12. It says, "A naughty person, a wicked man, walketh with a forward mouth. He winketh with his eyes. He speaketh with his feet. He teacheth with his fingers. Forwardness is in his heart. He deviseth mischief. Continually he soweth discord." And there was constant plots of sowing discord and, things that were being done under the table, plotting, against one another. You saw that throughout the whole series, and that's just how the Roman Empire was. Okay, that's how it was, and that's why that one Nubian individual, which they might have had actual Nubian people play that from the region of play those roles from the region of North Sudan. North Sudan, and I believe they said South Egypt. Those are the Nubian people. But what he did was he cursed Rome. He said, "Man, curse these goddamn Romans, man." He said they're wicked. That's what he said. Let's go to John 8:44. And they're a bunch of freaks, man. A bunch of nasty freaks. Domitian, it showed him his lover was a boy, was a man. It's just a sick. Well, that's normal. That was normal back then for those nasty Romans, man. This is John 8:44. It says, "Ye are of your father the devil, and the lust of your father ye will do." This is Yahweh Shai speaking to you wicked Israelites, man. "He was a murderer from the beginning, and abode not in the truth, because there is no truth in him. When he speaketh a lie, he speaketh of his own, for he is a liar and the father of it." Now, who was the murderer from the beginning? That was Cain. Who do we always tell you? It was Cain. Were the Cainites around when Yahweh Shai was there? No, the Cainites were not around. Okay? And Satan himself doesn't murder. Okay? Satan himself, he's in the spiritual realm. Murder is done by people in the physical realm. Okay? So Yahweh Shai was speaking about those Romans, man, because they have the spirit of Cain. Okay, that was the spirit of Cain, man. The Titus was said that he was put to death by his brother, and even showed that in the movie, right? It wasn't by his brother's act, but his brother caused him to be put to death. That's what it showed in the movie. Not like they didn't know the exact story behind it, because there was rumors and whatnot. They didn't have cameras back then, but we know that he was put to death by the sword, because that's what the prophecy says. When you come to hold up, when you come to 2nd Ezra 12th chapter, in the 26th verse, is dealing with these Roman Caesars, the ancient Roman Caesars. It says, "And whereas thou sawest that the great head appeared no more, it signified that one of them shall die upon his bed, and yet with pain," which that was dealing with Vespasian. "For the two that remain shall be slain with the sword." The two that remain were his two sons. You had Titus and you had Domitian, and both of them were slain by the sword. It said, the official report was that, I don't remember what they said, but they said so. In other words, they tried to say that Titus was not murdered, right? Was not put to death, right? But it says here that they will both be slain by the sword. We know that Domitian was put to death by one of his, the captain? Someone basically, let's see who put, let's type in who put Domitian to death. Let's do some due diligence here and see, just to verify. Who killed Domitian Caesar? Hold on. Oh, no, I didn't even spell it right, but okay. A group that included senior patrician guards, palace officials, and even the emperor's own wife. Right? So the people turned on him, man, because even when you look at the specifically was the patrician guards, right? Senior patrician guards, right? And the patricians were higher class people, right? And they were constantly plotting, plotting against the Caesar, plotting against this, but then they'll smile in their face. It shows you that all throughout the movie. So these devils are a bunch of serpents, man. Okay, and there's nothing different that's going on today. It's the same type of thing that's going on even to this day, right? They do the same thing. I don't see nobody stabbing anybody. They do things in covert, man. They do things covertly. There's a lot of things we don't hear about, we don't know about. Well, I'll give you an example right now. Here, the famous Titanic. What happened on the Titanic, man? What happened on the Titanic? Who was on the Titanic? I'll ask you that question, man. All right. Okay. It was said to be people that were against the Federal Reserve, and I'll leave it at that. Okay? Did you know the man who funded the building of the Titanic, J.P. Morgan, canceled his long-awaited journey just hours before its proposed departure? Three of the wealthiest men on Earth. Why would he cancel such a great opportunity to be on this big, I believe it was the biggest ship at that time? Why would he, very luxurious, man. You've seen the movie Titanic. Why would he miss his opportunity? Right? Three of the wealthiest men on Earth, whom were against the creation of the Federal Reserve Bank, happened to be invited aboard for its maiden voyage. John Astor, Isidor Straus, and Benjamin Guggenheim, which were probably some Amalekites, right? So they'll do this to their own, man. It said it then headed full speed, I think is what it's supposed to be written there, into a known iceberg field with less than half the required lifeboats, no red signal flares, no Rothschild or Rockefeller on board, and sank to the bottom of the North Atlantic Ocean less than a year later. Now that the wealthy opposition was out of the way, the Federal Reserve was created, and USA was turned into an incorporated business with its own business ID number 28 USC 300215. You could go look that up yourself. All right, so this is the Roman way. Okay, this is the Roman way. All right, and a lot of these things happen. Recently, there was 8 people that died in a particular plane crash in Brazil, and they were all cancer research doctors. We don't know what that's about. There's certain rumors behind that. We can't get the full details and the proof of every single thing, right? There's particular information out there, but the bottom line is, this is Rome all over again, and they move the same way, right? The same way. You read, man. Look at the history of the Caesars, man, and all the treachery and evil deceit that was going on, man. Salakia. Okay. This is Second Ezra 11, and I'm gonna go to verse 36, and it reads, "Then I heard a voice which said unto me, Look before thee, and consider the thing that thou seest. And I beheld, and lo, as it were a roaring lion chased out of the wood, And I saw, and that roaring lion represents Yahweh Shai. And I saw that he sent out of his out a man's voice unto the eagle, right? The eagle represents that ancient Roman Empire with those Caesars, okay? And said, hear thou, I will talk with thee, and the highest shall say unto thee, art not thou it that remainest of the four beasts, whom I made to reign in my world? Yeah, it's the most highest world, Esau. That the end of their times might come through them. All right. The end of the times is going to come through that last beast, because now we're still in that beast. We're still in the Roman Empire, right? This is the extension of the Roman Empire. Don't get it twisted, okay? Because there was a deadly wound, and then it was revived. Okay, let's go down to that fourth beast. When we go to Daniel's the 7th chapter, okay, we'll read about that fourth beast. This is Daniel 7 and verse 7. It says, after this I saw in the night vision, and behold, a fourth beast, dreadful and terrible, and strong exceedingly, and it had great iron teeth, right? The Roman Empire was known for its iron production, and that's what they used in their weapons. That's what made them so strong and powerful. It was also iron in the statue, right? On the legs. And then when it got to the feet, that was the extension. The feet with the toes, that's where we're living at now. We're in the extension. And this is where that rock, which is the Yahweh Shai, is going to come and take this place down. Okay? But the iron represents that military might. Okay? Look at the U.S. military. Look at it. It's not even just the U.S. It's U.S., the NATO, and EU. That is a powerful force, right? So for you to try to say you're going to take down this system, and good luck, all right? It's a powerful force because the Heavenly Father gave them the power of the technology. But back then, that was the most powerful. The Roman Empire was the most powerful force you could think of, man. Okay, but it was not as glorious in splendor as the kingdoms before it, man. The Babylonians was the head of gold for a reason. Beautiful kingdom, absolutely beautiful. They were known for building gardens and stuff like that. Beautiful kingdom. Matter of fact, we were doing good in the Babylonian Empire. The ones that listened to Yahweh Shai and just built their houses and chilled in the Babylonian Empire for a while we were in that captivity, hey man, you did all right. You did good. Okay? Because it was a beautiful kingdom. See? But it was temporary. It says it devoured and brake in pieces and stamped the residue with the feet of it. And it was diverse from all the beasts that were before it, and it had 10 horns. Okay? You translate those 10 horns today, right? That's dealing with the 7 heads and the 10 horns today would deal with NATO and the EU. Okay, the new revival of the Roman Empire. You know, back then they had their vassal states and so on and so forth, but now it's dealing with the they had their vassal states, but now it's dealing with the states that are the nations that I mentioned earlier. Okay, these European nations, for the most part, right? But it's headed by America, right? NATO, Canada is part of NATO, right? And I believe even Japan is part of NATO, if I'm not mistaken. But they're not the original. There's just a bunch of nations that they added up in there, possibly to throw off the prophecies, but they didn't throw off anything because we know what it's talking about. This is Daniel 7 and 8. It says, I considered the horns, and behold, there came up among them another little horn, before whom there were 3 of the first horns plucked up. Now the little horn here is speaking about America, Babylon the Great. Right, and it plucked up the 3, which was Spain, France, and England. Okay, right, plucked up by the roots because there was a fight for this, for these territories out here, right? But then it became in the United States, right? And they fought for their so-called independence. And behold, in this horn were eyes like the eyes of man, and a mouth speaking great things. Oh boy, America's blaspheme capital. Okay. Right? So the Heavenly Father is getting ready to do away with this wicked system. Okay? This fourth beast. Okay? He's getting ready to do away with it because it's no good. It's nothing but wickedness that's going on in this empire. Okay? Let's continue. It says, right? Verse 40, it says, and the fourth came and overcame all the beasts that were past. And this is 2 Ezra 11 and 40 now. Okay? And had power over the world with great fearfulness, and over the whole compass of the earth with much wicked oppression. This is what Esau brings, much wicked oppression. Even in the time of the Romans were trying to perfect oppression, but they're perfected oppression in this time, and they're trying to implement it now with the MOTB, man. The mark, that's all part of oppression, man. And so long time dwelt he upon the earth with deceit. Let's go to Revelations. Let's go to Revelations 20 and verse 1. It says, and I saw an angel come down from heaven, having the key of the bottomless pit and a great chain in his hand. And he laid hold on the dragon, that old serpent, which is the devil and Satan, and bound him 1,000 years, and cast him into the bottomless pit, and shut him up, and set a seal upon him, that he should deceive the nations no more, till the 1,000 years should be fulfilled. See, so these Edomites not being in power was what stopped them from deceiving the whole world. But as soon as they got out of power, what happened? They deceived the nations. Okay? Let me read that again. And cast him into the bottomless pit, which is dealing with Europe, and shut him up, meaning that he was not able to come into a position of prominence, and set a seal upon him, and he should deceive the nations no more, till the 1,000 years should be fulfilled. And after that, he must be loosed a little season. Okay, and we're in that time when he's been loose, going back to the time of Christopher Columbus, man, the Borgias and all that. All right, he's been loosed. All right, and now what? He's deceiving the nations. It was on pause while he was while we were ruling in Europe for 1,000 years. He was on pause, but now that little season is here. So he's deceiving the nations, just like we're reading here. It says, and the fourth came and overcame the beasts that were past, and had power over the world with great fearfulness, and over the whole compass of the earth with much wicked oppression. And so long time dwelt he upon the earth with deceit. For the earth hast thou not judged with truth, for thou hast afflicted the meek, thou hast hurt the peaceable, thou hast loved liars, and destroyed the dwellings of them that brought forth fruit, and hast cast down the walls of such as did thee no harm. Therefore is the wrongful dealing come up unto the highest, and thy pride unto the mighty. The highest also hath looked upon the proud times, and the proud times are here. Why? Because the Edomites, which is the proudest nation to ever be on the earth, is ruling. Okay, and Heavenly Father hates a proud look. And behold, they are ended, and his abominations are fulfilled. And therefore appear no more, thou eagle, nor thy horrible wings. And we can tell you this is a wicked, evil system. It's a wicked, evil kingdom, and it's worse than the ancient Roman Empire, man. Nor thy wicked feathers, nor thy malicious heads, nor thy hurtful claws, nor thy vain body, that all the earth may be refreshed. See, because it's only going to be refreshed when these devils are taken out, and may return, being delivered from thy violence, and that she may hope for the judgment and mercy of him that made her. Now, when it comes to the violence, the earth is full of violence, man. Just go on the news, man. Just put on the news. The earth is full of violence. But let's deal with this. We haven't even reached the peak of violence. The peak of violence is getting ready to come. The climax of violence is getting ready to come on this earth, man. Like you've never seen before. Right? Second Ezra is the 15th chapter. Second Ezra is the 16th chapter. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So the Lord is gonna have to step in, man, and get rid of this kingdom. Lord willing, this was edifying to the elect, and I'll say shalom.